Tacoma Engine Bay Mods. What's going on under there? Well, good morning everybody, and welcome back to Robmotive. And that's right, what is in the Tacoma Engine Bay? What mods have I added in here? You know, I was out admiring it this morning and I thought, you know, I'm gonna run through that for a video because I think it's pretty cool. You know, not every mod has to be out in the wild where everybody can see it, right? There is a lot of satisfaction to adding stuff under the hood, both functionally and aesthetically, to the Toyota Tacoma. So let's take a look at what I've got under mine. First of all, I guess the thing that probably pops out the most are the painted engine cover letters. And I know, kind of a sometimes corny mod, I suppose, but nonetheless, it does add a bit of pop and flair under the hood, right? And it's very simple to do. I did that with just paint pens, kind of just tracing. You can do any color you want, make it pop, change it, do whatever. I may change mine down the road, but I think it just adds a little bit of flair, a little bit of uniqueness under the hood of the Toyota Tacoma. Next up, and we have to mention this, of course, is the strut. The hood struts, I don't know why they don't come with them. I've got red lines on here. I'd probably go with something else different, a no drill version, and probably will once I change another mod that I have under here down the road. But they're just handy, just makes opening the hood easy. I will comment, you're supposed to have two. I have the one over there, and I mentioned I'd add another later. I removed this one, of course. But it's working just fine. I don't have any issues, no problems, nothing like that. So no reason to have two under here, or at least you don't have to. Now, next up, while I'm thinking of it, I did put a little LED light in here. It's controlled by another mod that we're going to get to here in just a minute. Just a way to brighten things up a little bit under the hood. Now, of course, the next biggest thing that you see under here is the cold air intake. I put the S&B cold air intake in, and that's why I don't have the other strut over here, because this intake is so big that the strut actually won't clear and hits over here on the side. That's why it's not here now. Eventually, I probably will change this out, just to go with something else, to try something different. I had put it in originally for a couple of reasons. One, the aesthetics. I like the way it looks here in the engine bay. I like having this open lid, or clear lid rather, so I can see the filter. I just think it's a cool look for the engine bay. Personal preference. Secondly, I thought it might give me a little bit more sound. Of course, I have not found that to be true. Nothing as far as power or increased fuel economy, none of that stuff. So no real reason for me anyway to have one here, except I think it looks pretty darn good under the hood. Moving on over, here you'll notice, and a lot of people ask about this, this is a wireless controller. What it does is it allows me to hook up all of my electrical accessories, like the lights in the front, like the LED light down here, like the train horn, all kinds of stuff that I have hooked up via a wireless controller. Inside the cab is a little remote where I can push buttons to activate things. I can also push these buttons down here to activate things while I'm in the engine bay. So just a cool little feature, and I gotta say, I've seen plenty of trucks out there with wires all over the place, right? I mean, I've got, what, 1, 2, 3, 4 different things under here, and if I didn't have this wireless controller, you would see wires all over the place here, all over the battery, cluttering up the engine bay, and I just think it's a convenient and safer way to connect things up. The only thing that's connected to the battery in this case is the wireless controller. Actually, I do have a couple of wires on there, one for the controller so that it only turns on when the truck is on, the accessory switch anyway, and the train horn. So I do have a couple separate things on there, but otherwise you don't see tons and tons of wires littering up my bay. I think it's an awesome alternative. There are several different types of these. This is the one that I chose. It is called Trigger 4. I like this one. I've had no issues with it. It's worked out perfectly for me. Now, moving right along, down here, you can see it right there, is the train horn. Kind of a novelty mod, really. I think it's pretty neat. It certainly is loud, and everybody can hear that thing when I hit it, and it's just something to kind of catch people's attention when I really need to. For instance, if they're shooting across an intersection and not paying any attention to me being there and it's my turn to go, you nail that thing, they're going to hear you. And if you really want to light somebody up, punch that thing when the light turns green and they just sit there and watch. It gets their attention. It does the job. Plus, as I mentioned, it's kind of a novelty thing. I like to hit it just to scare the wife once in a while. The final thing that I'll mention underneath here is the TRD oil cap. This actually came off of a previous Tundra that I had. That's why you see the name upside down. I had tried to take that label off. It's just a sticker. You actually put it on once you screw the cap down. And there's a little tip for you. If you do go with one of these, make sure you don't put the sticker on it until you have the cap tightened in the reservoir here. Because if you don't, this will be like this. That's not why mine is that way. It's because it came off of another truck and the threading is different, and of course tightening it up left the TRD logo almost upside down. So there's a little tip for you. Wait, don't put that label on until you screw your cap in and know which way it needs to go. Now, one thing I will mention about it, it is of course chrome or silver. Now, would I prefer it were black? Well, you know, I do have an aversion to chrome on the outside of the truck. In my opinion, and this is personal preference, if you disagree, that's okay. But in my opinion, chrome belongs under the hood. Does not belong on the outside of the truck. I don't have a problem with it being there, although again, I do wish it were black. I may actually replace it down the road with something that is black, and that way I'll also be able to adjust that logo, that label on the top there, so that it's facing the right way. Kind of a little corny having it going the wrong way, I would say. Anyway, that's just a quick look at what's under the Toyota Tacoma hood in my case. Leave a comment. Let me know if you've done anything under there. And how are you organizing all that wiring if you've got electrical accessories hooked up? I'd be curious to know. Also, real quick, I do have 2 additional channels. Robmotive FST, all about my 2021 Toyota Tundra. And Robmotive JT, about my 2020 GLADIATOR. Check them out, and if you're interested, please consider subscribing. Don't forget to click that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any upcoming videos. And do me a favor, smash that subscribe button on the way out. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.